related to that, how did you decide when to cut off? Because there must have been so much more material that you could have put into the book.
Yeah, there was. In fact, the Seychelles, which is one of those beautiful spots that I wish I'd gotten to go to, was the theory of another, he was a British general in the 1880s. It was so exactly at the same time as the North Pole guy who was writing about it. And they were sort of, I was like, I can't have two big personalities in the 1880s who both have these totally, North Pole and Seychelles, and they would have been battling. But I wanted to try and cut, but the point for me was that this is all still going on, so I wanted to sort of get the groundwork and then move ahead into the more present day Eden Seeker. So it was really tough. General Chinese Gordon was his name. They called him Chinese. Yeah. He was quite a character that I had to cut out, which was really sad. Sorry.
How about a sequel?
Could happen. Could happen. Yeah, I'm taking suggestions. Yeah.
Can you talk about any responses to your book that have surprised you? So far?
Yeah. So many. I mean, I've gotten people, for a while when the book first came out in August, I was doing some radio interviews, and I appeared on this NPR show called On Point, which is a wonderful program out of Boston, and apparently a lot of people listen to it in their cars, driving back from wherever they're going. So I got a little flood of emails after that of people who had tried to call into the show but hadn't gotten their calls taken for whatever reason. And they really they went directly to my website and really wanted to share their ideas of where the Garden of Eden was. And I happen to, Will is not a plant, I swear, but I happen to be carrying around some of these responses. I'm collecting my favorites. I'm going to read you a really short one. This is one after the Boston program. Out of the blue, I said, "Hi, Brooke. In 2004, I was a member of an expedition mapping the Mediterranean seafloor between Cyprus and Syria, looking for remnants of the Garden of Eden, aka Atlantis. You may find the links below of interest. First, second is a link on this. So, yes, I got great YouTube videos from that one. I had a great. This one was really fun because it came before the book even came out. I sent when it was became available to order. I sent an email to everybody who I'd sort of been in touch with along the way or would help me research it, and including an archaeologist who I interviewed for a recent chapter, who sent me back this one, no signature, no anything, response to this big group email saying, "Hey, here's my book. June 21st. But we found it years ago. See the Turkish press at the time. It is in Turkey, of course." Thank you, right? And then 4 days later, he remembers that he's talked to me before, and he says, "Mazel tov. I'd forgotten we exchanged notes before you wrote the book. Forgive me, my memory is not so good in my old age. Did you mention we'd found the site?" This goes on. And sadly, he did order the book, and he awaited it, and he was disappointed when it arrived. He said, "Your book finally arrived, and I was somewhat disappointed that you failed to include the satellite images and maps of my proposed site. They are the proof. The rest is just commentary." And I say, "Dear Mike, thank you for your note. I appreciate your graciousness despite your disappointments with the book. If you're interested, I'd be happy to run an image of your satellite map with a more detailed explanation on my website. Meanwhile, all the best. Dear Brooke, thank you for your kind note. I am only interested in the truth. To find that, one need only show an image and the phrase, King James Bible, and a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from thence it was parted and became 4 heads. For the less informed, you might like to ask the question, where else in the world did a river arise in the lowlands and flow into the uplands? But then one would really need to be very uninformed even to ask such a question." So those are some of my favorite responses, but there really are many. Which actually kind of surprised me. Even after doing all this research, I kind of was like, really? Really? The caller to the Boston radio show who was very adamant that the Bermuda Triangle, well, first, that the Bermuda Triangle exists, right? And that it is actually the Garden of Eden, because nobody's ever been in or out of it, It's as if we've all sinned and been kicked out. We had detailed justifications, and it really was quite impressive. Yeah. Any other questions? No.
Oh, wonderful.
Thank you. Thanks so much for coming.
Thank you.